I was 29 years old when I found the lump growing in my breast. I had had lumps before, but this one was different. It had been growing quite steadily for a while now, and I didn't know what to do. Finding a breast lump is no small matter for anyone, but I was from one of those families. You know, the families where all the women die of cancer. My mom, her sister, their mom, one of those families. At this point, medicine hadn't been able to help with whatever cancer the women in my family were dying from. It works for some people, but in my family, everyone had died. We were batting zero. I remembered watching my mom 4 years earlier go through the chemotherapy, the radiation, the morphine, the whole thing, and I remembered knowing deep down that this would not be my path. And here I was lying in bed one night, faced with this question: what other options are out there? That's when serendipity stepped in. The next day, as I was driving into town, my van suddenly lost control on a patch of ice. When I regained control and pulled over to the side of the road to catch my breath, a dark green Jeep pulled up beside me. It was Jim, a man I had just met a few weeks ago. As luck would have it, he was someone who did healing work to help people with all kinds of diseases. He wasn't exactly a naturopath, but more like one of those gurus who was so grounded he could see right through your problems with a clarity that allowed him to get straight to the real issue. He was the kind of person that you climb to the top of the mountain to find in the movies. I remember that the first time I met him, I asked him how old he was. Truthfully, if he had said that he was 500 years old, I probably would have believed him. There was a wisdom about him that I had never seen before. It was easy to understand how he helped so many people. "Hey, stranger, those were some fancy moves out there," Jim said. I sputtered something about not knowing why I had spun out, because there wasn't any ice on the road. Then, as my brain started to slow down from the mishap, it dawned on me that I could ask Jim for help with my breast lump. But would he be able to help me? Was this the right path? As I sat there pondering this, Jim started telling me a story. You know, it's a funny thing. My friend's wife just died of breast cancer. What's weird is that they never asked me for help. The doctors said that there was nothing more that they could do for her. They knew that I did work with people, and yet they never even asked. Really weird. I just don't understand that. Yeah, people are weird, eh? Yep, I mean, maybe I couldn't have helped her. Who knows? She might have died anyway. But you would think that they would have at least risked the possibility that I could have helped them out. I mean, all they had to do was ask. And then he smiled at me with this really kind, knowing smile. The kind of smile that looks right down into your soul and wakes you up to something. As I looked at him, 1,000 thoughts were going through my mind. Is this the answer? Would this be the reasonable thing to do, considering my family history? What kind of things might I have to do? Does he have time to fit me in? Finally, I decided. Jim, would you be able to take a look at the lump in my breast? This is not a book about alternative medicine versus conventional medicine. It is about ideas beyond both of these things. It is about beliefs and patterns that affect our health regardless of what treatment path we take. It is about understanding how and why cancer comes to us in the first place. It's about looking at why it runs in families. It's about looking at some of our beliefs and habits and wondering whether they are helping or harming us. It is about learning from the people who got better, the spontaneous healers. What sets them apart from those who die? What do they have in common? What if we could learn from them and make those same changes in our lives before we get sick? What if we could skip the cancer?